Hello and welcome to My Tales of Awakening. Just as the name implies, these are stories and experiences of my awakening journey. If you are here looking for advice or educational input or answers, I am so sorry to let you know that I don't have that. I am simply just sharing my new experiences as I work through them. With all of this, I'm really hoping that I find the souls that feel alone and that are just starting out. Because you're not alone. You're beautiful and it's a beautiful path. I cuss a little and I do smoke, and I have no advice to offer. So if that all bothers you, this is not a channel for you. I'm so sorry. I most sincerely hope that you find your tribe as I look for mine. And if you're sticking around, welcome. Make yourself comfortable. Make yourself a cup of coffee or tea, whatever you fancy. Buckle up and let's begin. Well, hello, you guys. I am actually having an okay day now. I just finished work and I got home to an empty house. Only the animals were able to greet me, so you're going to hear some clinking and some clanking. Making myself a cup of tea so I can chit-chat with you guys and use this time alone to my advantage. Because I will be honest, my family does not know about this podcast whatsoever. So I've been whoring around with my microphone. Anyways, excuse me. So I am just making myself a tea and I'm about to wind down. It is 10:40 at night. And I had a long day at work, let me tell you. So I didn't even think I would be doing this, recording an episode as I'm dropping stuff in my kitchen. But like I said, I was actually planning on doing this tomorrow, to be quite fair. Go to work and park my car and yammer on to you guys. But I am going to take this as a go ahead. So, and I am so excited about this episode because it is literally one of my all-time favorite things to talk about. So, welcome. Today's episode is going to be on past lives and all that fun stuff. So, I'm going to share my mediocre experiences. And I'm going to ask if anybody's got their experiences that they would like to share. I would really love to hear about your experiences because you know what? We're a community. So, well, at least at this point, I hope that I do have a community. As I said, I have not even picked out a channel name yet. I don't have a platform, but I'm going to assume that at this time, I at least have a few people listening. How's that? And even a few people is better than no people. And if I can, share my experience with somebody and they're like, wow, I'm not the only one. You know what? That's good for me. If one person can resonate with me, I'm good with that. So to my one person, welcome back or welcome in. Take a seat, make a coffee or a tea. I'm having a tea. Nice chamomile, ginger, mint mixture that I have. But anywho, reincarnations, past lives, yada, yada, yada. I freaking eat that shit up. It all started literally when I was a teenager. Yes, when I was a teenager. Not the whole past lives thing, but the whole fascination of them. I come from an era of Sylvia Browne. Yes, Sylvia Browne, everybody's favorite frenemy. May she rest in peace, I guess. She literally was always on Montel Williams' show. If you're giving away my age here, of it. But, you know, it is what it is. So anyways, we didn't have the fun reels and the TikToks and the YouTube videos that we can tap into and just, you know, the algorithm takes over and that's all you get. Unfortunately, we had Montel, and I think that's all that she was ever on, to be quite fair. But, or I had a few books on near-death experiences that, oh my God, you know, and a part of me, and this is very fucked up, really, a part of me always wanted to experience a near-death experience, but it's really fucked up because, like, why would anybody wish trauma on themselves? But at the same time, I'm like, I want to see that. I want to know that. I want to know. But yeah, I was always so fascinated with all of those and mediumships, like mediums. They were freaking fascinating more than anything else to me. I don't know why. It's like the whole spirit realm and everything else just fascinates the whole living crap out of me. Tea is good, a little sweet. Anyways, but yeah, hang on. I gotta refer back to my notes. I'm being distracted by a lot of things here. One thing I will honestly say to you is that one thing that I beat myself up over, and I seriously will, I think, till the day that I die, unless I write this wrong, but I don't know if I could. My daughter, when my firstborn, when she was about 3 years old, she started talking about Grandma Betty and Uncle John. Yes, Grandma Betty and Uncle John that we do not have in our very, very European family. We do not have a Grandma or a Betty. We have a Bubba, but it's not a Betty. But it would be like anything. If I was in the kitchen, she'd like follow me in and she'd be like, my Grandma Betty bakes the best pies. Or we'd be outside and I remember this one time, Uncle John, he had a tractor and his two daughters, he let his daughter ride a tractor and blah, blah, blah. How silly is that? A girl riding a tractor. Okay. Why didn't alarms go off in my head? Especially with the fact that as like a young adult or a teenager, I was so fascinated. Just ate that shit up on TV. And it didn't dawn on me to say, oh, honey, where did Grandma Betty live? In what town? What did Grandma Betty do? What was Grandma Betty's last name? What was Uncle John's last name? Where did Uncle John live? Were Uncle John and Grandma Betty married? Or any of that? Was Uncle John's... What were Uncle John's daughters' names? No. I don't know why. Why? I never once thought to say, you know what, honey, let's explore this shit. You know? And I look at that and I'm like, I'm an idiot. And I know I shouldn't be calling myself an idiot, but as you all know me, I need to work on that. So that is the thing that I will need to work on. Just my verbiage on. But in this instance, I'm sorry, I was really a fucking idiot. Like, it was in my face and it was daily. And it was for, I think, a good couple years, if not a few years, that she would talk about these characters. And it was nothing like in grand detail. It was just like little things like here and there. And to be fair, at some points, I'm like, she was comparing my food to Grandma Betty's food. And you know what? I don't like that. Do not compare my food to some character's food. But now, when I look back on it, I am, seriously, my friends, I am beating myself up to the point where I felt the need to take a Udemy course on past life regression hypnosis. And I did. I took that course. I ate that shit up. I love that kind of stuff. I really do. Did I take the course to be a professional hypnotist? Abso-freaking-lutely not, because I think that takes a lot more than just a Udemy course. Would it be okay for me to write my own guided meditation and post it on YouTube that people can, like myself, because I often turn those on. Would I do that? Yeah, absolutely I will. Will I ever take on clients? Absolutely not. I would say no. I would say no. Because what if something goes wrong? You know what I mean? Like, you're really dabbling with big shit here, especially putting things into, like, people into, like, I know it's a theta state, but at the same time, I really don't have that much knowledge on it. I didn't go to university. I went to the University of Udemy, you know? And like, quite literally, I took that course. Within a few days, I was done it. I ate it up. I was so enthralled in this, and I loved it. It was amazing. I loved every bit of it. But like I said, would I pay for licensing and finish it? No, I didn't even do the final. I guess there's like, you got to do a couple of regressions and take notes, and one is a video or an audio or something, and you got to hand that in order to get your certificate from this course. And then you can enroll yourself in to, like, be a certified hypnotherapist and pay like yearly dues and stuff like that. No, I don't want to do any of that. I didn't even want to do the last assignments, the 2 assignments. Why? Because I didn't take the course for that. What did I take the course for, you guys? I took the course, and my daughter like walked into my trap, but I still haven't found the time. But I took the course to be able to answer the big ass question: who the hell is Grandma Betty? Who is Grandma Betty? I don't know who Grandma Betty is, and it's bugging me. And the thing is, my daughter remembers speaking about Grandma Betty, but she doesn't remember Grandma Betty. But she remembers for years and years that she talked about the said Grandma Betty, and now she would really, really like to know who the hell Grandma Betty is. And I don't have the answers for her. So I took this Udemy class in hopes that one day she will say, "Hey, Ma, you want to hypnotize me so we can answer this?" And she took that bait, and she did say it. But my friends, my house is never, 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 never quiet enough. As you could probably hear the clinking and clanking of my dog's little nails on my hardwood floors. As I'm pacing in my living room, dining room area, she's like literally pacing behind me. She's behind me every step of the way. But when she's not behind me, she's at the door every 20 minutes asking to go out and in and out and in. And she's a princess, that one. So for me to be able to get somebody in the state where they can be hypnotized, to get them to the theta state, is physically impossible in my house, even at night. Because at night, my said daughter's hedgehog likes to run on a flippin' wheel, and you can hear it. And that's all fine and dandy for all of them because they all work midnights. I, however, do not work midnights, so I hear this. So anywho, when is this said hypnosis going to happen? Don't know. But I am at the edge of my seat. And not to mention, my sister also really, really, really wants me to try and hypnotize her. But she has a very similar scenario at her household where her dog is just as lovely and annoying as mine. So that's funsies, right? So if it ever happens, I will literally like make an episode of it. Like, seriously. And they will never know. But anywho, now people often tell me, well, not people, like a lot of people, because I don't talk to a lot of people, but people that I can bring out my woo-woo shit to often tell me that I am so lucky that I can tap into the Akashic field, blah, 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 no problems. Is that true? Probably not. Because, my friends, I have tried and tried numerous times to actually tap into the Akashic records, and I am blocked. What I can tell you is that out of nowhere, I have like soul rememberings. Is that the Akashic field, or is it just a soul remembering? Is there a difference to this? I would really like to know. So if anybody has any insight on this specific subject, because I get blips, I get little scenarios that are brought on out of freaking nowhere, out of thin air. I had a couple, I think, no, one time, one or two times, I don't even know now. I did a past life regression hypnosis video that I found on YouTube. Now, I was able to tap in, but when you really think about it, on YouTube, you have a recording. If you're actually with a person, that person, the hypnotist, can literally read your energy and, your body language and all of that fun stuff and go from there, right? Like they can question you and whatever. Whereas on the video, it's a video. And they can't read whether you're relaxed enough or in that state of mind where you need to be. Like they can't read the room. They can't read your body language. It's just based on a recording that is for the collective, whoever wants to tap into it. And that's the problem with that. Like, I would really, really like to go to somebody, and I have a trust issue. And well, also, I am quite frugal when it comes to that, with the economy being the way it is. And I have a child that is attending university, and we are paying for her education, and along with, car payments and mortgage payments and taxes on 2 properties, and with the grocery prices like sky high and everything else. I'm not going to get into the political or whatever point. I really don't wish to, okay? I don't want to say I don't want to, because I'm really dying to go to a hypnotherapist for a past life regression. And let me tell you, these people, the true mediums and hypnotherapists and readers and psychics and whatever else there is out there, if they are actually true, they are worth every fucking penny. They're worth every penny. And you know what? And they should get paid the big bucks. They really should, honestly. But as it stands, as of right now, I am not willing to spend the big money to, I don't know, feed my curiosity, I guess. But anyways, so with that being said, I don't know, like people say, oh, you're so lucky, the Akashic field. I have tried numerous times to get into it. And the closest I got was, I don't know if I have posted it yet, but my India story, where I felt like I tapped into it, but then I saw myself in India, and I kind of don't find that was true. I find that my mind actually, and my body was screaming at that point. My body was screaming, this is not what it is. This is not what it seems. Because honestly, before that, I watched a documentary on this gentleman going to India. And I fear that my mind kind of made all of that up. And so I didn't know at that point if I am in the Akashic field or not. But to be fair, I wanted to be respectful. Because what if I was? And I didn't want to be disrespectful. That is not my intent anywhere. Whether it's in ethers or And on earth, I try and give respect. And so I respectfully got myself out of that meditation with like seriously full-blown respect, because like I think the guide that I thought was a guide, maybe it wasn't a guide, I don't know. And I envision things, right? Like you do when you go into a meditation, right? You envision things. So honestly, like that was the closest that I've ever got to it. I've tried many guided meditations. My sister is able to tap into the Akashic records, doing an intention prayer type of deal. She reads it. She has her questions ready, and then she taps into it, and then she literally voice records the answers that she gets. Wow, that is mind-blowing to me, and I am not over-exaggerating, because it's like a part of me is so happy for her that she's able to do this, but the other part of me is like, why can't I do it? Right? The ego part kicks in, and I'm like, why can't I do it? So maybe that's what's blocking me. I don't know. And like I already said, I have to work on that. Now, when I have my blips, I'm gonna run down my blips, because I have shared some on previous recordings. I don't know what sequential order I'm going to be uploading these in, so I'm going to not go into like grand details of my blips, but just like a little bit of a rundown of them. And I've had a few, and I am so, so grateful for them. And I don't know, they feel me, or if they feel me, they make me, they leave me feeling, wow. If I was a drinker, I'd say have another, but I'm not. So it's only tea, and there's nothing but honey and lemon in there. So speaking of which, take a sip. But anyways, they leave me feeling magical most of the time. I had one where it was scary as shit, but other than that, I feel magic. I feel magic, and I feel like, I don't know what I feel. But sometimes I question it. It's like, did I make that up? Did I not make it up? And I try and trust myself, because I know I should. And like, some of the things are like, why the hell would I make that up? How the hell would that fall into my head at that specific time, right? So, but the first one, the very first blips that I had were, and I know I uploaded this audio already, and it was my awakening in last year, July, August-ish. The first time it kind of hit me like a freaking ton of bricks. I had two soul memories, I would say. Would it be considered a soul memory? Remembering? I don't know, but the one was, it started with my husband holding my face, and well, it didn't look like my husband, but he was holding my face. It was his energy that I could feel. But he was holding my face, and he was saying, wake up, wake up. And he kept tapping me on my cheeks, and he's like, wake up, please wake up. And that was the end of that. Later on, I got more visuals of that scenario, and literally it still gives me goosebumps, just thinking about it. And I can feel the weight of the heaviness of the situation, and I want to cry. I seriously, as much as a gift it is to have had this visual, my heart mother frickin' breaks every time I think about it. And literally, it was the second one that I got, was literally, it was us riding on his motorcycle, and we wiped out. I remember seeing a car coming on, and there was like a blank space in that one. Like, I don't know what happened, but I guess my body got freaking catapulted. And I remember watching. I had the top view, so I'm guessing it was like my soul had left the body at that point, that I had died on impact or whatever. Might have broke my neck or whatever the case may have been. I'm not really sure, but I know I was watching from above of the unfolding of what had happened afterwards. And he was, like I saw in my previous video. It's not a video. Although it does unfold like videos, really. It's like watching a movie, really. But it was a top view, an overview, and he was over top of me, and he was trying to wake me up, and he was just like, I can feel his energy, and it was like this great sorrow and panic, and I don't even know what the fuck that was. But he took on the responsibility, and he felt responsible for my death. Whether he fucked up or not, I'm not really sure. And and it's funny because, well, not funny, haha, but ironic. Not even ironic. I don't even know, but I felt the call. And my intuition, I don't know if it was my higher self, I don't know what it was, but I felt the need to tell him that it's okay. In this lifetime, I told him. Like, and I don't know, this was literally when I had my awakening thing, so I think I was just too woo-woo for him. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about, kind of thing. But I'm like, it's okay, I know you carry that heaviness with you. I don't know whether you know it or not, but I know he carries it with you, that guilt, that whatever it is, and it's okay. And I felt that I wasn't mad, even watching over, like as a spirit. But later on, what unfolded for this specific experience, this lifetime or whatever, is I was literally watching the top view, and he was standing at my grave. I wish I would have zoomed into my name, because I would really fucking love to know that. But so I can Google it. With the technology that we have today, like, seriously, it's amazeballs. You can literally find your headstone on the internet. But anywho, that's not the point of the story. But part of me is like, stupid idiot, next time try and look at the name. But anyways, sorry, drinking my tea while it's still nice and hot. But anyways, I saw him standing over top of my grave, and he was the only one there. I think it might have been like after the funeral. I think he stayed behind, because he was like wearing like nice clothing. So I would say probably stayed behind after everybody left. I don't know, or maybe went back after. I don't know. But he was standing there all by himself, and he was looking, and he was crying. And then what I didn't see, but I sense, like I said, intuition. What I sense is that he committed suicide about a month or two after the fact, because of the overwhelming guilt that he felt. And that is kind of what I'm thinking now. Like, I don't know actually what I'm thinking. I don't even know what I'm thinking. Like, is he living in his own hell? Is this like hell on earth for him? Because, you look at scenarios of, like, I know him, I know his whole life history, and a part of me is thinking that that's he reincarnated into this lifetime, and he has all these burdens that he's carrying and all of the above, and I don't know. So anyways, that was for that one blip of a lifetime. Now I don't know if some of these are like the same lifetime. I have no clue. I don't know. As far as the timelines go, I never really got a story from like A to B or A to Z kind of thing. Like I don't know. Like I never got a full, you know, blown lifetime. Like you were born on blah 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 and you died on blah 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 and this is what happened in between your birth and your death. I never got that. I only get little blips. Little blips, little feels, you know, little taste. So there was that. There was one in the ethers, and it was really cool. That was really freaking cool, you guys. It was looking like as if I was looking through a kaleidoscope. Okay, and there was two ethereal creatures there. Okay, and they carried my energy and his energy, and we were young, and it was like pretty much, hey, you want to do this, let's journey together kind of thing. And it was like I suggested, let's do this, and let's every lifetime try and make it harder for each other to find each other kind of thing, and kind of like wake each other up kind of thing. But like I know that you can't wake anybody up. Their soul has to have the agreement that they will wake up. So it's not like I can wake him up. Or can I? If anybody has any information on this, please, please, please feel free. No judgment, just feel free to put input in. But anyways, so there was that. And that came through like literally the first time my ass got jolted in my bathtub portal. Then now I did a whole episode on this one. I don't know if I uploaded it or not, but it was literally sometime, I want to say 1800s, because I Googled the shit out of this one. So I want to say it was in the 1800s, and I was in a cabin. And very, very long story short, or maybe long story long, who freaking knows anymore. But long story short, I was in a cabin, and he walked through the doors. And it was raining, and it was crappy out, and he had a long gun in his hand, which I am guessing, because I Googled what the gun that I saw looked like, and I'm guessing it was a rifle that came out into circulation for pretty much anybody to buy at that point, and that was around 1860-ish. I don't want to lie. I don't know. I don't remember the specifics, because this was like September-ish 2025. Right now we're in April 2026. When I'm posting this is God knows when. So ta-da. Anywho, so I believe it was sometime in the late 1800s. I don't think we were wealthy, given the fact that we were in that cabin somewhere in the woods. And I know it was in the woods because when he opened the door, I could see the woods behind him, even though it was like dark out and it was rainy, but the flash of lightning kind of illuminated some of the trees and the outsideness, right? So I am guessing it was a cabin in the woods. So I'm going to go with that. But anyways, when he walked in, he gave me like a little nod. Like it, but his energy was heavy, right? And it was like, what I gathered from it, it was like, it's been done, kind of, it's complete, or something along the lines of that. And he went and he put his gun down on top of the fireplace, and I went to him, and we got into a hug, like an embrace. And I just felt this overwhelming love. But at the same time, I felt heavy too. Like I felt very, very heavy. And There's so much more to this, but I'm trying to kind of cut it down. Not to mention, I don't like being redundant, and it will happen. I'm not going to lie to you. I repeat myself. But you love me or you leave me. I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, so later on, that story kind of unfolded. Like months later, I got triggered. You see what I just did there? I got triggered by accidentally looking down his empty gun. Okay, because it was empty, it was completely safe, but I got triggered by this. And I didn't know why. But down the road, come to find out, I had another blip that unfolded, and it was literally trigger warning. Again, seriously, actually, this is not funny, but I actually, what unfolded was that I was in town, and I did not know that this is the same lifetime. Okay, like I did not know when this was unfolding in my head. It was not the same lifetime. It was just a freaking soul memory, and the way it unfolded, it was like I was in town and I was walking down this cobblestone street, and I got pulled into an alleyway, and there was, I usually would say 4 gentlemen, but no, they were 4 pigs or 5 pigs. I don't know if it was 4 or 5 of them, but I got pulled in to this alleyway, and I was pinned to a wall, and gory details. I don't really wish to go that much into it, but essentially I was raped, and that barrel that triggered me. Sorry, I like to be punny, and I know this isn't the time to be, because this is a serious topic. It's not even, and I feel like I want to vomit when I think about it, to be honest with you. But anyways, the barrel incident, the gun barrel incident that had previously triggered me, actually was from that lifetime. And after those 4 men had their way with me, one pointed a gun to my head, and I was looking down that barrel. And anyways, I was able, they let me go. And sorry, I'm having a difficult time speaking, and I'm actually getting winded from actually even talking about this. Like I feel it like very heavily on my chest and my solar plexus. So it's very heavy on my heart, and it's very, very, very heavy on my gut too. But ultimately, they let me go, and they said pretty much that, once they want me again, they know where to find me, and if I say anything to anybody, they'll kill me or whatever the case was. And from that point on, I was a hermit for a long time. And I was withdrawn and closed off and dealt with this trauma, I guess, the best way that anybody could. And, it gives you a whole new perspective on people getting abused by other people. And it's so sad and disgusting in its own ways. And I have nothing but love for victims out there. I am so sorry you had to go through that. I thankfully haven't not gone through it physically in this lifetime, but apparently my soul carries that from a previous life. And I am so sorry if you went through something like that. I am so sorry you did. Because let me tell you, when I was remembering this, not only was I watching this unfold, I felt it and I tasted it and I smelt it, and I literally felt the energies. I felt the physicality. I felt when my wrists were pinned against a brick wall, I felt the scraping of the stone on my hands and my arms. When I was pushed down, and I felt my head bounce off of off of the ground. I felt, and without going into more detail, felt, I felt everything. And it's heavy. It's very, very, very heavy. So, anyways, that story ended up connecting to the cabin story, and his little head nod when he walked in. It wasn't, "How you doing?" It was, "I took care of your problem. They will never bother you again," so to say. So this man, well, this soul, it's not even this man because this is not the same man, but this soul loved me so much that he actually fucking killed for me. Which in turn ended up actually healing my sacral chakra, I think. I would love to believe that. So, anyways, hello. I wasn't planning on crying. Not in this one. Like I said, reincarnation stories are my favorite stories. But anyways, from there on, I did a hypnosis video. And like I said before, videos are videos. People doing hypnosis on you or people doing hypnosis on you, there's a big ass difference. The timing of it is like completely different. So I was able to get a little blip, a little glimpse. Now, I don't know which lifetime this would have been from. It has not unfolded for me yet. I would really, really love it to unfold, but it has not. And it was our wedding. And it was an outdoor wedding. It was a beautiful sunny day, clear skies. What era? No freaking clue. Because I couldn't see myself from spirit view. I just looked down and I saw lace. And it wasn't poofy lace. It was just a lace dress. So I'm not really sure when this was partaking. But I was walking down the aisle. And we had quite a few people. I don't know what they were wearing because my eyes were focused on him standing there and his eyes. And that was that. It was like he was standing by an arch that was covered in some sort of vines. And there was a minister. And there was nobody standing next to him. It was just him and the minister. And holy crap, my dog just scared me. A bone just dropped out of her little, I call it a house, but it's her cage. We leave the cage open, not cruel. And it's her little spot. She likes to go in and sleep. But anywho, so when this took place, I don't know. Which lifetime it belongs to, I don't know. What my name was, I don't know. What his name was, I don't know. But it was my husband's energy. Did not look like my husband whatsoever. This man was tall, like really, really tall. And like it just did not resemble him whatsoever. But I felt the energy and I recognized the eyes. And the eyes, I cannot ever tell you enough. The eyes. I feel at home in his eyes, and that was the feel that I got because as I was walking down that aisle, I was looking at him and he was looking at me, and I could feel the sense of home looking at him. So I know it was him. Oh, my tea is cooling down, just so you guys know. Okay, so that was that one. Then I did another regression video. I'm just looking back at my notes because I tend to forget a lot of things. So I like to do a little title and then do like points of what I want to touch on. And sometimes, my friends, like right now, I go off point. But anyways, back to my points. I did another regression video, and like I said, a little blip, little teeny tiny blip, and it was we were in a war or army or something. War, I would say it was a war of some sort. And he was laying on ground, hurt. He had a helmet on. I was in uniform too. It was a green uniform, if that means anything to anybody. To me, it doesn't, because I feel like everybody had a fucking green uniform. But it was kind of like a woolly type feel to it. I don't know. But anyways, mine, anyways. But I was hovering over him, and I'm like, were you hurt? Are you hurt? And I know he was alive because his eyes were there and they were open and he was responsive. But that's it. That's the whole story to that one. Isn't that great? Like, and it's like, please continue. It's not even to be continued. It's like, when are you going to continue? Please continue. I want to know. And then the last final one that I had, and this came to me in my, I want to say my bathtub portal. And it was literally a little blip of a happy moment. What lifetime? God only knows. I was wearing a white dress and it had poofy arm sleeves. It's really cute. I actually would wear that now. But it was a nice summer day, I would say, and he was holding me up, literally, like I was kind of seated on his arm, and I was trying to reach an apple from an apple tree. And I had one arm around his neck, and my other arm was trying to reach a freaking apple. And we were laughing so hard, because I don't know if he was like kind of stumbling and like maybe I was heavy for him. I don't know. But we were laughing our asses off, and I was trying to reach this apple, and it was just like an inch away from my fingertips. It was like totally not even within my reach. So, anyways, and it's funny because now that I think about it, in this lifetime, my husband has this obsession with fucking apple trees and apples and picking apples from trees. Related? Who knows? Maybe. But, like, seriously, we're driving down the road and he's like, oh my God, there's an apple tree. And then he pulls over and picks fucking apples from an apple tree. And I'm like, can you please get it back in the car? You know, so that's our fight for like 20 years. I'm like, please get it back in the fucking car. But yeah, so that's what I got. Now, whether any of these are from the same lifetime, I really don't have those answers. And I fear that maybe I will never have these answers. But you know what? For the most part, I am very, 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 very grateful that I even had the opportunity to have any of these glimpses into the past, whether my mind made it up or not. I really firmly believe that I didn't. But it's human of me to go, well, maybe you did. Right? So there's all of that. My friends, I think this was very long-winded. I don't even know. I gotta find my phone now and see. Holy crap, we're at 48 minutes and 24 seconds. So yes, it was very, very long-winded, but you can tell that I really, really, really love this subject. So with that being said, homework time. Not really. It's not homework time. But If you have a kick-ass story or any story that you would love to share publicly in the comment section, or if you would like to send me privately your story in an email and you would like me to share this story for you in a future episode, please, please, please don't hold back. Share. Because you know what? These are absolutely my favorite subjects. Honestly, I don't know why I am so connected to all of this, and my mind just, it's yearning for crap like this. I eat this shit up. I really, really, really love stuff like this. So if you got something to share, do not hold back. Please do not hold back. And you know what? Honestly, when you really think about it, maybe somebody out there needs your story. So, or maybe there's a connection that will be made from your story. That would be cool. What if Grandma Betty John's daughter's whatever, reach out to me, which is not going to happen because I don't have John's daughter's names. But you never freaking know. What if there's a connection, a crazy ass connection? This is like your sign from the universe. Me saying, hey, reach out, tell me your story. And then you do, and like something happens from there. Huh? And then you let that opportunity go by. Anyways. Excuse me. Oh my God, throat block. But anyways, guys, it's been lovely. My dogs are looking at me like, who the hell is she talking to? But yeah, I'm gonna sign off. I love you all very much. If you are still here listening to this, freaking kudos to you. Kudos to you. Not that, I'm an interesting person. So I get it. All right. I hope you all have it's nighttime here, but whatever, good night or a good day. I wish you all the best. And until next time, my friends, love you very much. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.